Hey, welcome back to Bitware's Mind Matters, the show where we dig deep into the wonderfully weird ways our brains work. I'm Amara, and as always, I'm joined by the man who can explain why you bought that juicer you've never used, the brilliant Dr. Ben.
Guilty as charged. Great to be here, Mara. And today, we are talking about one of my favorite topics, social influence. It's that invisible force that nudges us, shapes us, and sometimes totally hijacks our decisions without us even noticing.
Ooh, hijacks is right. Whether it's buying stuff we don't need, saying yes when we want to say no, or going along with something that feels off, we've all been there. So, Dr. Ben, what are the main flavors of this social mind control?
Glad you asked. Social influence comes in many forms, but the three biggest ones are conformity, compliance, and obedience. And trust me, these aren't just psych terms. They play out in real life every single day.
All right, let's start with conformity. That's like going along with the crowd, right?
Exactly. Imagine you walk into an elevator and everyone's facing the back wall instead of the doors. You hesitate and then awkwardly turn around too, just because everyone else is doing it. That's conformity in action.
I'd definitely turn around. I mean, what if they know something I don't?
Right. We're wired to go along with the group. It feels safer. Think about trends. People wearing Crocs with socks or suddenly doing the same dance on TikTok. Most of them don't even love the trend. They just don't want to feel left out.
Peer pressure in disguise.
Totally. And it doesn't stop in high school. Adults conform all the time. At work meetings, dinner parties, even political rallies. And here's the kicker. Sometimes we go along even when we know it's wrong, just to avoid sticking out.
That's wild and kind of scary. Like, where's the line between blending in and losing yourself? Okay, what about compliance? That's when someone gets us to say yes, even when we don't really want to.
Exactly. It's about agreeing to a request, sometimes with a smile on our face and regret in our soul. Think about when you're in a store and the salesperson says, "Can I help you find something?" And somehow you end up buying a whole skincare set you didn't plan for.
Ugh, been there. They gave me a sample, complimented my skin, and I blacked out. Next thing I know, I own 5 serums.
Classic compliance technique. One popular strategy is the foot in the door. Ask for something small first, like signing a petition, and then slide in a bigger request, like donating money.
That's why people start by saying, "Do you have a minute?" and then rope you into a 10-minute pitch.
Exactly. There's also lowballing. You're told one price, you agree, and suddenly there are extra fees. But because you've already committed, you're more likely to follow through.
And let me guess, that's not all is when they pretend to throw in a bonus to make you feel like you're getting the deal.
Nailed it. Ever seen an infomercial where it's like, buy this pan and we'll give you another pan, plus a spatula, plus a set of steak knives, but only if you call right now. That sense of urgency and free stuff triggers compliance like magic.
Yep, I've definitely bought something I didn't need because they threw in a tote bag. I'm a sucker for a free tote bag. Now let's talk obedience. This one feels a little heavier, more serious.
It is. Obedience is about following direct orders from someone in authority. Picture this. A boss tells an employee to fudge some numbers. The employee knows it's wrong, but does it anyway. Why? Because the order came from the top.
Yikes. That hits close to home for a lot of people, I bet.
It happens more often than we think. One of the most famous experiments on this was by psychologist Stanley Milgram. Participants were told by a man in a lab coat to administer electric shocks to someone for giving wrong answers. And guess what? 65% of people kept going, up to what they believed were deadly shock levels, just because they were told to.
That's terrifying. So people just overrode their conscience.
Yep, because the instructions came from someone who looked and sounded legitimate. Add to that a sense of urgency and small escalations, and people find themselves doing things they never thought they would.
It's like boiling a frog. Slowly raise the temperature and it doesn't notice until it's too late.
Exactly. And it's not just labs. It shows up in military settings, corporate environments, even schools. Anywhere there's a hierarchy and authority, obedience can kick in.
This has been so eye-opening. Whether it's fitting in with the crowd, getting talked into something, or following orders, we're influenced way more than we realize.
The good news is, once you see these patterns, you can start making more conscious choices. You get to pause, question, and decide for yourself.
Love that. So next time someone offers me a limited time bonus gift, I'm going to think twice.
As long as it's not another tote bag.
No promises. Thanks for hanging with us, folks. This has been Mind Matters. If your brain feels a little more empowered right now, mission accomplished.
Catch you next time for another deep dive into the human mind.